Hello?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, please start. Yes, ma'am.
Can we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Quality is everyone's responsibility, and we never have to stop getting better. The highest education is that which does not merely give us the information, but makes our life in harmony with all the existence. A warm and a pleasant morning to one and all here. It's a happy and a proud moment to share that we have crossed 1,200 registrations for the webinar. I, Vaishali Narayan, feel honored to heartily welcome you all on behalf of Seshadripuram First Grade College, Department of Commerce and Management, in collaboration with the Association of Mutual Funds India for a one-day national webinar on strategy for managing personal finance. One song can change a moment. One idea can change a world. One step can start a journey. But a prayer can change even the impossible. I now request Ms. Anvita for the invocation.
Javardhana Orudaya Ajisuveninna Anavaratana Namisuveninna Anavarata Kailasadi Vasipani Meluva Vinayakane Yemilunde Meluva Vinayakane Gajavardhana Torodaya Gajisuveninanu Anavaratana Namisuveninanu Anavarata Mushika Vahani Hare Pashankushavanu Darisihane Pashankushavanu Darisihane Gajavardhana Torudaya Bhajisuveninna Anavaratana Namisuveninanu Anavarata Siddhi Buddhigala Priyakantane Vidya Buddhiya Kottu Poridevane Vidya Buddhiya Kottu Poridevane Gajavardhana Torudaya Bhajisuveninna Anavaratana Namisuveninna Anavarata. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Anvita. The soul should always stand ajar, ready to welcome the ecstatic experience. I consider it a great honor to call upon Professor Matthew Varghese, Senior Advisor, Iqac, for the welcome and introduction of a resource person and the gathering.
Good morning and welcome to this webinar. I deem it a pleasure and privilege to welcome and introduce Sri Suryakant Sharma, Personal Finance Management Expert and Chartered Associate of Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, who has happily consented to guide us in managing our personal finances through this webinar. Sri Sharma brings to this webinar the valuable support of the Association of Mutual Funds India, the premier financial organization. To briefly introduce Sri Sharma has 35 years of experience in banking, finance, and securities market, and 15 years in different departments of SEBI. Sri Sharma is so as much an investment expert as a teacher. Because he was associated with SEBI for 5 years as the DGM for investor awareness and education. And in this capacity, he was associated also with the NCERT to develop vocational courses for +1 and +2 students. Shri Sharma has the distinction of having conducted a record 15,000 investor awareness programs across the country. And now, Shri Sharma is senior consultant for the Association of Mutual Funds India. I welcome you, sir, to this webinar on behalf of the Seshadripuram Educational Trust, Seshadripuram First Grade College, the Iqac of this college, and our principal. It's also my pleasure to welcome Dr. Ashok, coordinator of Iqac, who is spearheading this webinar. I welcome also our principal, who has been a great inspirer for webinars of this nature. Welcome also to all the participants as well as those who have registered as participants for this webinar. And I hope all of you will have a very fruitful and a very educative learning experience today as a result of this webinar. Once again, a hearty welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A hearty welcome to you also to the webinar. Now I request our speaker of the session, Shri Suryakant Sharma, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds India, and former DGM, SEBI, to take over the session. You can take the session, sir. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vaishali ma'am, for giving me opportunity to be with you, of course, in this format only. But next time when this pandemic goes, I would be happy to be with your colleagues and students physically as well.
We are pleased to be having you here in the dais, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. Vaishali ma'am, I would be very happy, and rather I will feel obliged if at least 4 or 5 videos are on, so that I can feel that I am connected to some persons. Otherwise, if all videos are off, you will appreciate that sometime it do happen that a feeling traps into whom I am talking to.
Sir, you request everybody to switch on their video?
No. Only 4 or 5 will do. Only the 4 or 5. Only 4 or 5 videos will do, so that I feel I am connected to somebody.
Okay, sir. That's a happy moment. Okay, sir. So we will. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Fine.
Thank you very much. Before my session, 2-3 things I wish to clarify here to all the participants and the organizers, that this program is from Association of Mutual Fund in India, but it is not a marketing event or a promotional event of mutual funds. That I want to make it very clear. It is purely an investor awareness program. And Vaishali ma'am, there are 2 categories of investors.
Okay.
One category is the persons who are earning, like you, who already started earning. And of course, since you are earning, you must be investing your money somewhere, one or other way. Second category of investors are potential investors. Your students, those who are not investors, but they are going to be investor very soon. They are going to start earning very soon in a couple of years. So I will try to address both the categories of participants. Secondly, since this program is for the participant, I will request all the participants, particularly students, if they wish, they can have a pen and notebook with them, and they please note down anything they found, new idea or a new information in my session. And Vaishali ma'am, you will agree with me that I wouldn't be having time to cover all the topics in detail.
Sure, sir. Sure.
I would be very brief on most of the topics, but those who are interested going deeper into these things can visit websites and Google. You know, all such information is now available on websites and Google.
Yes, sir. Sure. We'll make it.
Thirdly, since this program is for the participants, I will be very happy if more and more questions come from the participants. They might have some doubt on the subject, they might have questions, they might have some queries. So kindly feel free to put your questions, doubt or queries on the chat box. Vaishali ma'am will take care once my session is over, or after my session is over, we will make this town hall open. Anybody can just raise their hand and we will unmute him or her and they can directly ask the question. So, Vaishali ma'am, I will try to make this session as simple as I can.
It's up to you, sir. We will be happy enough if you have the sharing of your views regarding mutual funds in a broader way also.
Of course I will. I will, but at the end of the session, not at the beginning, or I will not cover mutual fund in an exhaustive manner.
Fine.
Of course, I will touch upon some important aspects of mutual fund.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Before the start of my session, I just want to ask two questions to Vaishali ma'am, to you. Rather, of course, you have your video is off, but still I can hear you. I just had two very simple questions to you, and I will like to answer these questions to me so that I can take it forward in my session. First question is, what is two most important thing money gives us? What is two most important thing money gives us, Vaishali ma'am? Can you just throw some light on it? Or what do you think about the most important two things money gives us?
See, it is not a mere satisfaction what we get, but worldly pleasures can be bought through money, but that will not give you entire satisfaction. So that is one, this one, and it is kind of a monetary part. It is not that which is having an emotional this one, but see, there are varied kind of people in this society. So the society, they might be people who are really committed to getting used with the resources what they have, but there are some people who just want to fetch up some more of income, like more of returns on their investments. So that is also one of the parts. I hope so.
Oh, okay. You have covered broadly what I wanted the answer from you. Basically, Vaishali ma'am, you will agree with me, and all participants will also agree with me, Mr. Joyan. Money gives us two most important things in our life. The first is security and second is prosperity. Am I right, Vaishali ma'am?
Absolutely right, sir.
Because money gives us security. When we have plenty of money in our bank account, or when we have plenty of money with us, we feel secure that if anything happens to me, I will take care of this problem or issues with the money I have. So firstly, money gives us security, and Vaishali ma'am, you will agree with me that human beings first think about the security.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes.
Once security aspect is taken care of, Mr. D'Souza, then we think about the prosperity. Then what you, Vaishali ma'am, has just told us, a lot of money, enjoying money, a lot of desires we have, a lot of needs we have, a lot of obligations we have. So all those things can be taken care of by the money. And broadly speaking, it is the prosperity which gives us all these things. So money gives us two things, security and prosperity. This is the answer of my first question. And second question I want to ask Vaishali ma'am, what are the two main sources of money for a middle class, salary class person? What are the two main sources? Can you highlight something, ma'am? Okay, your voice is off, I see. Mr. D'Souza, can you just tell me what are the two main things money gives us? if you can unmute yourself. Mr. Sabjar, kindly unmute him. Mr. Sabjar.
Yes, sir. Sir, please unmute your radio option.
Yeah, Mr. Joan D'Souza, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, Tal, what are the two main things money gives us?
Is it? Are you asking about?
Sorry. What are the two main sources of money for the middle class, salary class person?
One is salary income.
Absolutely.
And if you have income from your business or profession, that would be another source.
No, it is one and same thing. Salary income or business income, whatever, same thing. Second source of money, Mr. D'Souza, for all of us is, my money should also make money for me. The first source is the main source, original source, that is salary we get from the employer. And second source is that my money which I am earning, of course, I am spending a lot out of it, but still I take away something. And so my money should also earn money for me.
The passive source of income.
But rather it is more important than active source. In the sense, Mr. D'Souza, your prosperity will come not through income minded. You might not agree with me, but it will come only through wealth creation. That is, your money should earn money for you. So, firstly, I will discuss about the what two main things money gives us. My dear friends, money gives us two most important things in our life, that is security and prosperity. And my dear D'Souza, money will give us security only when we have plenty of money. It is also a fact of life. One day Mr. D'Souza will have 100 crore in his bank account, then he will feel secured. No problem, Baba, I have got 100 crore in my bank account. If anything happens to me, I will manage it affairs. Mr. D'Souza, you are smiling, but you know it very well that 100 crore will not be in our bank account. Am I right? Most of us, we will be having 100 crore in our bank account because we are all salary class persons. So the question arises, can't we have security? Because Mr. D'Souza, security is very important. Every human being first think about the security. So can't it be possible for us to have security? Yes, my dear friends, my dear participants, we also can have security. We all can have security. And for that security, kindly note down 3 things we have to do in our life at the beginning of our career. And those who have already started working like Mr. D'Souza and Vaishali ma'am, and if they have not done these 3 things, kindly consider these things very, very seriously and immediately, so that at least security aspect is taken care of in your life. So the first thing we should all have, Mr. D'Souza, is all earning members must have adequate life insurance cover. That is the first thing I want to emphasize here. And Mr. D'Souza, naturally you will ask me what for we should have life insurance cover, why we should spend money on it. Mr. D'Souza, you are well aware that life is pretty uncertain. Today I am talking to you, we can live 100 years together, but even tomorrow is uncertain. What will happen tomorrow is uncertain. And that fear of uncertainty always back in our mind, always remain back in our mind, not only us, but also our family members. And this is more particularly relevant, Mr. D'Souza, when the person is sole earner of the family, when he is the only bread earner for the whole family. He always feel uncertain, or rather feel that if I am not there tomorrow because of death, what will happen to my family? How my children will get education? How my family will get normal monthly expenses taken care of? All these things always remain in our mind. And for that, we should take adequate life insurance cover, that in case something happens to me, at least my family will get that amount which they can invest somewhere, they can deposit somewhere, they can get some return, so that their monthly and regular expenses will be taken care of, but also the education of the children and other family obligations. That is the purpose of life insurance cover. And Mr. D'Souza, I have mentioned here, it should be adequate. Because normally, typically what happens, people do take life insurance cover, but it is a token only, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 40 lakhs. It is not going to serve the purpose, my dear participants. Kindly understand it. Unless and until you take adequate life insurance cover, the purpose of life insurance cover is not going to be served. And what should be the adequate life insurance cover, Mr. D'Souza? The thumb rule is that it should be minimum 10 times of your annual income. It should be minimum 10 times of your annual. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, your annual income is 20 lakhs. Then ideally, you should have life insurance cover of not less than 2 crore rupees. Have you taken that level of life insurance cover? I don't think so. You might have taken the life insurance cover. So my request is, kindly take adequate. I am requesting all the earning members, even students should understand it. When they start earning, they should take adequate life insurance cover when they start earning. And nowadays, Mr. D'Souza, top-up facility is also available. Suppose you are not able to take adequate life insurance cover initially, then you can take some of them, a part of it, and then you can top it up after 5 years or 7 years or 10 years to make it adequate. And here again, Mr. D'Souza, the premium of the life insurance cover is directly related to your age. Early you take, lesser will be the premium. So kindly mind it. And thirdly, nowadays a very good insurance product is available in the market, Mr. D'Souza, which was not available at least in my time. That product is term insurance, TERM, term insurance. Kindly note it down and explore the term insurance because that is the purest form of insurance cover where you can take life insurance cover at the minimum payment, minimum premium. If your age is 25 to 30 years, then you can take life insurance cover of 1 crore rupees, Mr. D'Souza, by paying a monthly premium of hardly 500, 600 rupees per month. That anyone can do. So kindly take life insurance cover, and term insurance, I personally feel, is the best product available and the purest insurance product available in the market. This is the first thing I want to tell all the parts. Of course, income tax deduction is also allowed under Section 80C, but that is incidental benefit, Mr. D'Souza. The purpose of taking life insurance cover is much bigger than income tax exemption. Second thing I wish to request all the participants, kindly take adequate health insurance cover. Mr. D'Souza, life insurance cover is different and health insurance cover is different. People generally mix it up. I have taken life insurance cover, why I should take health insurance cover? They don't understand the difference between life insurance cover and health insurance cover. But Mr. D'Souza, both are different and both serve different purposes in your life. Health insurance cover we take, Mr. D'Souza, that in case of some medical emergency, a disease might be diagnosed by the doctors in my body, or I met with an accident all of a sudden, and in those circumstances or eventuality, I will be required to go to the hospital and get admission there. And Mr. D'Souza, you know it very well that government hospitals are not up to mark. Unfortunately. That is why where we will go, we will definitely like to go to the private hospitals. But there the charges are exorbitant. They charge excessively. We should admit it. But we get reasonable and good treatment there. So in case of medical emergency, I am required to go to the hospital, and Mr. D'Souza, per chance I am there for 10, 12 days. You will agree that the hospital will raise a bill of not less than 10 lakhs rupees. From where I will get it? If I don't have health insurance cover, I will have to pay it from my some savings or take loan from my friends and relations. That will be painful. That is why we should take health insurance cover. Mr. D'Souza, in health insurance cover, if any medical emergency arises and I am required to go to the hospital for admission and stay there for a week or so, all hospital expenses will be directly paid by the insurance company to the hospital. You will not be required to pay anything. You simply go, get treatment and come home recovered. It is basically cashless facility, means no, you will not be required to pay anything. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And nowadays, Mr. D'Souza, a very good health insurance cover policy is available in the market. That is called umbrella policy or floater health insurance cover. FLOATER, floater health insurance cover. In floater health insurance cover, Vaishali ma'am, you can include not only your name, but also your spouse name, your husband or wife, your children's name, and even your parents' name, Mr. D'Souza. So in one policy, all members of the family are covered. If anything happens with any member of the family and they are required to be hospitalized because of medical emergency, all their expenses will be directly paid by the hospital, by the insurance company to the hospital. That is the purpose of health insurance cover. And again, Mr. D'Souza, it should be adequate. If you are in metro city like Bangalore, then you should have your family health insurance cover should be not less than 25 lakhs. But if you are in metro city or if you are in 2-tier or 3-tier cities, then 15 lakhs health insurance cover for the whole family would be reasonable. So kindly consider taking health insurance cover also for your family. Third thing, Mr. D'Souza, I want to mention here. But before that, this corona has changed us a lot. How we talk to each other, how we meet with each other, how interaction has totally changed. We are talking to each other tomorrow in this digital form. We have never dreamt that this forum will be available to us had the corona not come to us. So corona has taught us a lot of lessons, Mr. D'Souza. And one of the most important lessons corona has taught us is that every family must have an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs with them. Naturally, Mr. D'Souza, you will ask me, sir, why we should have this emergency fund? Mr. D'Souza, you are well aware that you are very lucky. You continued with your job. You continue to get salary from your college. But at the same time, you are also aware that lakhs of people had lost their job. Lakhs of people have got substantial reduction in their income or salaries. Businesses were closed. Professions were closed for pretty long time. How they survived? It was a very tough time for them. Of course, you are lucky since you have not experienced that stress, but we can feel it for those who lost their job or have reduction in their salaries. So, Mr. D'Souza, this corona may continue for years, as some scientists are still predicting, or a new virus may come in, or an emergency may come in our life at any time without notice. So, suppose something happens in our life in future, our job goes, or get reduction in salary, at least I am able to manage my monthly family expenses for 1 year. That emergency fund is a must. That emergency fund will take care of our monthly or regular expenses for minimum 1 year. That is the purpose of emergency fund for all the families. And of course, I am not saying you will appreciate that 5-7 lakh is not a small amount for all of us. It is a big amount, of course. But we can accumulate this amount over a period of time, maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years. But once it is there, once you have accumulated this amount, Mr. D'Souza, you will have to make a promise with you and with in taking confidence of your family that we will never use this emergency fund for any other purpose except emergency in our family. That commitment and promise we will have to make with ourselves, because the purpose is very specific for this emergency fund. And what I am saying, I am not saying that you keep this emergency fund at home in currency. No, or just keep it an SB account. What I am saying that you develop it, then get some FD, fixed deposit in some good way, so that you can get reasonable return also, or in some liquid fund or mutual fund. We will talk afterwards. So third thing is emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs for the family. And Mr. D'Souza, I again repeated all these three things: adequate life insurance cover, adequate health insurance cover, and an emergency fund of around 5 to 7 lakhs will give you security. Will give security to not only to you, but to your family as well. So kindly do these three things as early as you can in your life. Now I come to the second point that I just talked, Mr. D'Souza, about the security only. Now I come to the prosperity. Mr. D'Souza, we all need lot of money in our life, lot of money. And money need will never end. Generally, people say that let it come. More and more money, let it come. So we need huge money in our life. But tell me one thing, what is the main source of money for us? For a middle class, salary class person, the main source of money for all of us is our salary or monthly income we get from the employer. In your case, from your college. But what we do with the money, salary we get from the employer, Mr. D'Souza, majority of our salary goes into taking care of our monthly expenses, regular expenses. Majority of it, maybe 30%, maybe 50%, maybe 70%, maybe 80%. So majority of what goes into taking care of our monthly expenses. But one thing is very unique with Indians, Mr. D'Souza. I don't know whether you will agree with me or not. That is unique with all Indians. What is that, Mr. D'Souza? That we don't spend all we earn. We try to take away some money out of our income. Of course, needs are there, desires are there, but still every family, even a person who is earning 10,000, Mr. D'Souza, will try to take away 500 or 700 rupees out of his income, which he or she will not spend. The money which we don't spend out of a regular income, what we call it, Mr. D'Souza? It is savings, bachat. It is savings. And we all are savers. We all save money. We all save money. Whether you are earning 10,000 or 10 lakhs rupees, we all try to save as much as we can. But one thing is there, Mr. D'Souza, we do save, but we are casual about the saving. Casual in the sense that Mr. D'Souza is saving, this month Mr. D'Souza has saved 10,000. Next month it might be 12,000. Third month it might be 5,000. Fourth month again it might be 0. So we are not regular in saving. But my first request is, Mr. D'Souza, to all the participants, kindly identify an amount which you can comfortably save. I am not saying, Mr. D'Souza, that you save 20%, 30%, 40%. Let it be whatever you want. Decide. But once you have decided, suppose your monthly salary is 50,000 and you say that my expenses are around 40,000. Then what you are saying that you can save 10,000 a month. Then my request is very simple but emphatic. Kindly save this 10,000 every month without fail. Come what may. That commitment you have to develop with yourself. That I will first save this amount, take away this amount from my income, and whatever remains with me, I will manage my monthly affairs. That commitment and promise and discipline, Mr. D'Souza, is a must for your prosperity. So kindly identify an amount of, I'm requesting all the participants, kindly identify an amount and then definitely save that amount every month without fail. This is the first request I want to make. Second thing, and of course, Mr. D'Souza, it will be tough, but it will not be impossible. It is workable, provided we commit ourselves, provided we make promise with ourselves. Now, second request I want to make all the participants, including Mr. D'Souza, kindly keep increasing your saving every year minimum by 10%. Naturally, Mr. D'Souza, you will ask me how it is possible, but you know the answer. We get increments, we get DNS allowance, we get some new allowances, we get promotion in between. So our income keep increasing every year. Am I right, sir? Every year our income keep increasing. So with the increase in income, we must increase our savings also every year. And ideally, it should be 10% increase every year. Suppose this year, Mr. D'Souza, you are saving 10,000 a month. Then next year, it should be 11,000 a month. And third year, it should be 12,100. And rather, we have to do it, Mr. D'Souza, if we want ourselves to be wealthy and prosper. Because this is the only source which will create wealth for us. So two things I wish to again repeat to all the participants, Mr. Ram. Firstly, identify an amount of saving and then definitely keep increasing saving every year minimum by 10%. Am I right, sir? Two things I wish to take about request about saving. Now the next stage, now the next question comes, Mr. D'Souza. What we should do with the savings? Of course, I am saving and you are saving and we are all saving. What we should do with the savings? There are two options available with us, Mr. D'Souza. The first option is, I am saving regularly and religiously. But what nonsense I am doing is, I am taking away that savings from my bank account and keeping in currency format home every month. I am counting it and keeping it home in a box. Or just leaving that amount in my SB account, savings bank account, where I get salary. Mr. D'Souza, if any person is doing this, kindly stop it at once. Never in our life, we should do it. Because it is a gross injustice to ourselves, to our family, and Mr. D'Souza, to our country as well. Never do it. Naturally, then you will ask me what to do, sir. Then my answer is very simple, Mr. D'Souza. Kindly put your savings, number one, in acquisition of some assets, value of which will increase in future. We should acquire some assets out of our savings, value of which will increase in future, or in some financial instrument which will give us regular and periodical return in future. The process of putting our savings into this mode, Mr. D'Souza, are you aware what is this? Technically, we called it investment. Technically, we called it investment. Investment simply means putting our money in some asset or some financial instrument with the sole purpose of getting return on it. So saving, Mr. D'Souza, is the first stage, investment is the second step. Unless and until you save, what you will invest. So first you save as much as you can. And secondly, don't keep your savings at your box in home or in SB account. Invest it. Put it in a generating mode so that your money should also earn. By investing, what is the purpose, Mr. D'Souza? That my money should also earn money for me. That is the purpose of investment. And we are all investors. Those who are earners are all investors, Mr. D'Souza. You must be an investor. You must be putting your money in one way or other form. Some governmental scheme, some private scheme, whatever it may be. But we are all, those who are earners and those who are savers are also investors by chance. But Mr. D'Souza, one thing I want to make it here clear. Though we are investors, but unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, I am saying again, unfortunately, most of the middle class, salary class person, despite saving and putting saving into investment mode, just remain money accumulators in their life, Mr. D'Souza. Just remain money accumulators. They don't become wealth creators. There is a basic difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. And Mr. D'Souza, you must be aware, all participants must know it, that only wealth creation will give you prosperity. Money accumulation will not give you prosperity. So let us first understand difference between money accumulation and wealth creation. This should be clear to us, only then we can go take it forward. And for that, making you understand that difference between money accumulation and wealth creation, Mr. D'Souza, I am taking a very simple example. Very simple. And that example is of bank fixed deposit, FD. Why I am taking it, Mr. D'Souza? Because everybody knows about the bank FD. You also know, even your students know it very well. Students they may not have gone for FD, but their parents must have gone it and they are aware. So we all know about the bank FD. That is why I am taking this example. And Mr. D'Souza, kindly permit me to take your name in this example. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, you have got 1 lakh rupees with you today, and you go for a 1-year bank FD for 1 year with a good bank, and you are aware that the present rate of interest is around 6%. Bank will give you around 6% bank interest on your FD. So you go for 1 year bank FD. After 1 year, when I meet Mr. D'Souza and just ask you what happened to your FD, Mr. D'Souza, then you are smiling, you are happy. What you will say? I have earned 6,000 rupees as bank interest income. Am I right? Simply speaking, I have earned 6,000 bank interest income on my on my bank FD. After 1 year, bank has given me 6,000 as in bank interest income, plus bank has given back my money back. And you are happy. When I ask Mr. D'Souza, are you right? You will say, definitely I am right, sir. What is wrong with you asking this question? You can see my passbook. I have got 6,000 credit as bank interest and bank has given back my money back. Mr. D'Souza, kindly understand it very carefully, and all the participants I am saying, you kindly understanding very, very carefully, because this is the crux of your success. Mr. D'Souza, you are right, but you are not right. You are right because you got 6,000 in the bank account. But then you simply ignore two very important factors while analyzing return on your investment. Very simple, two important things. And what is two important? The first and foremost factor which we normally ignore while calculating inflation. Inflation, mehengai. We talk about inflation every day in, day out. In every staff room, the major discussion is your inflation. Even at home, we always discuss about the inflation. Inflation, what is inflation, Mr. D'Souza? Simply speaking, inflation is nothing but increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time. That is inflation. Simply speaking, prices of the items or services are increasing every year, every month rather. So increase in the prices of goods, item or services over a period of time, we call it inflation. We know it is inflation, but we ignore it while calculating or this factor while taking return, while analyzing return on investment. Now, Mr. D'Souza, I am just asking a very simple question. When you were going for the FD last year, suppose whatever you could have purchased from 1 lakh rupees, some items, some goods or availed some services, would you be able to take same item, same services after 1 year at 1 lakh rupees? Would it be possible?
Not possible.
You know it will not be possible because of inflation. Prices of those items have increased. Suppose the inflation rate has been 5%. Suppose. What does it mean? It means that Mr. D'Souza, who was able to purchase or acquire some items or avail some services at 1 lakh rupees before 1 year, after 1 year, he will need to pay 1,05,000 rupees for the same item, same services, same. Am I right? Because inflation rate has been 5%. Now you see the proposition you saying, yeah, out of 6,000, Mr. D'Souza, you earned 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Truly speaking, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation. Again, one more factor is there, Mr. D'Souza, that is taxability. Most of the income, government take income tax. You are well aware. Even on your salary, we have to pay income tax. Like FD also, we have to pay income tax. Kindly minded, you might not be aware. You have to pay income tax as per your slab. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, you are in 20% bracket of income tax. What does it mean? That on 6,000 you earn, you will need to pay 1,200 rupees as income tax as well. And Mr. D'Souza, before 15-20 years, people would not generally include such income in their income tax. Let it be. Who will come to my home to collect that income tax from income tax department? But nowadays the things have changed, Mr. D'Souza. Because of technology, all such information is automatically available with the income tax department. They have got it from the banks automatically. So now you can't avoid. You have to pay income tax. So suppose you are in 20% bracket, then you will need to pay income tax of 1,200 rupees, that is 20% of 6,000. Now, Now you see the proposition, Mr. D'Souza, you are very happy when you earn 6,000 as bank interest income. But in reality, you got nothing. Out of 6,000, 5,000 has been eaten by the inflation and 1,200 you have paid as income tax. Did you get anything in reality, sir? No. Rather, 200 rupees has gone out of your pocket. 5,000 plus 200 rupees. So if my investments are like this only, where after factoring in inflation and tax liability, nothing remains with me. That is, there I am sheer money accumulators. Of course, I got 6,000, but it has got no meaning. It has got no substance. In reality, I got nothing. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, I take it for this example forward. Suppose the interest rate is 8%. We suppose that interest rate is 8%. In that scenario, what you will get? You will get 8,000 as interest income. Again, keeping inflation at 5%, out of 8,000, 5,000 will be taken by the inflation. There remain 3,000. Out of 3,000, 20% income tax you pay, that is 1,600 of 8,000. But even after that, Mr. D'Souza, there remain 1,400 rupees. That 1,400 is your real income. And my dear participants, kindly mind it. Unless and until we get some real return, I'm underlining the word real return, Mr. D'Souza, on our investment, we are sheer money accumulators. The saving and in such investment will serve no purpose at all. Rather, we are sacrificing a lot of things and desires. So what my request to all the participants is, kindly always see that you get some real return on your investment. I'm underlining the word real return. And what is the definition of real return? What is the formula? Real return equal to notional return. That is 6,000 or 8,000. 6,000 or 8,000, Mr. D'Souza, is a notional return, not real return. Minus inflation, that is 5,000. Minus tax liability, that is 1,200 or 1,600. In first scenario, you got nothing. In second scenario, you got 1,400 as real return. So always try to earn real return on your investments. Got it, sir? What I wanted to convey to you?
Yes.
Kindly try to get some real return on your investment. Kindly analyze all your investment and see whether you are getting some real return. And Mr. D'Souza, if you are not getting, come out of it, invest somewhere else. Because getting not return will not serve you purpose at all. So kindly think it very seriously that we should earn real return on our investment. Of course, real return may be 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. That is a different story. But we must earn something in reality on our investments. Now the question arises, Mr. D'Souza, why it is so that we are money accumulators? Most of us are money. Well, there must be some reason. Na? Why we are so? Yes, my dear friends, my dear participants, there is a reason why we are money accumulators and why we don't become wealth creators. And Mr. D'Souza, that reason lies not outside anywhere. That reason lies in our mind. Middle class, salary class person have got a typical mindset. What is that? Arey Baba, we don't want to take any risk. No, risk we don't want to take. This is your perception. We have been born and brought up in such atmosphere that we are scary of taking risk. And Mr. D'Souza, mind it, and all the participants kindly must understand, there is a risk in the investments. Except some governmental saving scheme, we will discuss afterwards. So risk is there in the investment. But we don't want to take risk. That is why we are money accumulators. Formula equation is very simple. So if we want to earn some real return, we have to take some risk, but it should be calculated risk, Mr. D'Souza. It should not be a blind risk. We should take calculated risk. And what is risk, Mr. D'Souza? That normally risk is that I invested my money somewhere and I lost that money. That is the greatest risk and nobody will like to take that risk. Second is, I invested some money or my investment got reduced, rather I got nothing, but even my investment got reduced. And third is, Mr. D'Souza, my dear participant, understand it. Not getting any real return, also a unwise act. Because unless and until we get some real return, we will not be prosper. We will not be wealth creators. So kindly understand that in most of the investment, risk is there, except some governmental saving schemes. But now, second question arises, Mr. D'Souza, risk is there. Of course, we have understood and accepted that risk is there. Naturally, we will ask to ourselves, how I can manage my risk? How I can minimize? That is natural question. It will come in my mind. How I can manage my risk? How I can minimize my risk? Because everybody would like to minimize his risk or manage his risk. One thing it should be very clear to all of us, Mr. D'Souza, risk can be managed, of course. Risk can be minimized, of course. But Mr. D'Souza, risk can never be zero. There will always be some degree of risk in your investment. In some investment, it might be higher. In some investment, it might be moderate. And in some investment, it might be minimum. So kindly accept risk is there, but risk can be managed and risk can be minimized, and for which I just share a very simple 2-word formula to all the participants. Kindly note it down. This is a very important formula for us to manage our risk and to minimize our risk. Only simple 2-word formula. Mr. D'Souza, you might laugh at me, but I am sharing with you. But this is a very important formula, and kindly note it down, and not only note it down on paper, note it down in your mind. Practice this formula, because this formula is going to manage your risk most efficient way. The formula, 2-word formula only: think, understand, and invest. I think you understand Hindi also little bit. सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश कर. Think, understand, and invest. Mr. D'Souza, I have used 2 words. First is think. Second is understand. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. We have to think 2 things about ourselves. What are those things? First thing is, what is my risk appetite? How much risk I can take? And Mr. D'Souza, you must understand that every individual has got
dear participants, due to some technical reasons, our keynote speaker exit the webinar. Please wait. Within 1 minute, he join again, please.
Sure, sir. Okay, sir.
So please, sir, please. Jaldi.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, there was
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
sorry, actually, sorry. So our risk appetite, Mr. D'Souza, is different. Every individual has got different risk. Why? Because our income is different, our family or liabilities are different, our social structure is different, everything is different. So kindly, honestly, first analyze your risk-taking capacity, how much risk you can take. And Mr. D'Souza, risk-taking capacity is not a permanent or stagnant one. It keeps changing with the age. It keeps changing with the age. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, and for make you understand on this, I just want to divide our active life into 3 phases. Active life simply means, Mr. D'Souza, when we start earning and when we get retired. In between life is active life, normally. And normally when we start earning, 25 years, maybe 24, normally 25 years. And when we get retired, normally at 60. Normally at, so the period between 25 years to 60, Vaishali ma'am, is our active life. And this active life, we can divide into 3 phases, Mr. D'Souza. The first phase is between 25 to 40. And fortunately, Mr. D'Souza, you are in this phase of life, 25 to 40. And most of the participants I can see are young ones and who are in 25 to 40 age bracket. Second is 40 to 55. And Mr. D'Souza, third one is 55 and above. The first phase, Mr. D'Souza, which you are in, and even Vaishali ma'am is also in this phase of life, I want to tell all of you, this is the golden period of your life. Listen it very carefully, Mr. D'Souza. This is the golden period of your life. Kindly start saving as much as you can in this phase of life. Because, of course, you have started earning, but liabilities are relatively lesser, relatively. And you can save as much as you can. Then secondly, invest your savings into the best available product for getting maximum real return. I'm underlining again, I'm not going to again repeat real return because return is real return only. So in this phase of life, your whole emphasis should be to get maximum real return on your investment. Even by taking some risk, Vaishali ma'am, you should take some risk, but it should not be a blind risk. You can take calculated risk. Why? because you have got age on your plus point. You are still very young, Mr. D'Souza. There are 30-35 years to go for you when you will retire. So in this phase of life, the most important thing is you should concentrate and focus on getting maximum return on your investment, even by taking some calculated risk. This is my request to all of you. Second phase comes, that is 40 to 55. In that phase of life, Mr. D'Souza, you should continue to have focus on real return, but also keep an eye on liquidity, because in that phase of life, you will need money at different intervals. That is why liquidity is also an aspect we should look at. Third phase, Mr. D'Souza, is beyond 55. And when you enter in that phase of life, Mr. D'Souza, our thinking automatically changes. In that phase of life, what we want, we might not go for real return, but my emphasis would be to make my money safe, which I have accumulated from 25 years to 55 years. So the safety aspect of the money becomes important and paramount in that phase of life. Return becomes secondary. I can even compromise on the return aspect, Mr. D'Souza, but I can't compromise on the safety aspect of the money, which I have accumulated from 25 to 55. So kindly analyze your risk appetite by taking your investment decision, number one. Second is, we have to think about time horizon of investment. Mr. Chauhan, normally we don't think about the time horizon of investment. Normally, most of the middle class, salary class person don't think about the aspect of time horizon of investment when they make their investment decision, but it is equally important. And Mr. D'Souza, I want to make one request to you. Not to you, but all young participants like you, Vaishali ma'am, and all other young participants. Would you kindly give me 1 hour next Sunday? Mr. D'Souza, would you give me 1 hour next Sunday? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Would you give me 1 hour next Sunday?
I'll talk to the management and get back to you, sir.
No. I am not talking of management. I am talking of your personal 1 hour.
We'll let you know, sir.
No.
Yes.
You didn't get what I wanted to tell you. I want next Sunday, kindly give me 1 hour, and rest assured, I am not coming to your home. Don't worry, Vaishali ma'am.
That you'll be at my home.
No, yes, exactly. What I want next Sunday, kindly sit with your family members. Kindly request all your family members to sit with you. Have a pen and pencil and paper with you, and kindly discuss with them what are the major milestones in your life. Discuss with them. And after discussion, kindly make 3 columns on the paper: first column, second column, and third column. And Vaishali ma'am, on the first column, you kindly note it down what are the major milestones in our life. And Vaishali ma'am, are you aware what are the common milestones in our life for middle class, salary class person? What are the common milestones? The common milestone, Mr. D'Souza, is marriage is the first milestone. Am I right, Mr. D'Souza? Marriage is the first milestone. Then second milestone is birth of the children, celebration. Then third milestone might be admission of the children into good public school. Then purchase or acquisition of the house for the family. That is again very important milestone in our life. And Vaishali ma'am, after that, purchase of the 4-wheeler if we have not got so far for the family. Then one more milestone is there nowadays, Mr. D'Souza, which was not at least in my time, but nowadays it is common. What is that? Vacation. Every family want to go on vacation. Am I right, Mr. D'Souza? Your family will force you. Neighbors are going, friends are going, they are visiting Delhi, they are visiting Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and out of country, Switzerland, USA, and you are not going anywhere. They will force you to go for it. The vacation has also become a very important milestone in our life nowadays for the middle class, salary class person. And after some year, Vaishali ma'am, when children are grown up, what will be the next milestone? Professional education and higher education of children. That is one of the most important milestone in our life. Every parents would like that their children get the best higher education or professional education. And once their education is over, you will think of their marriage. Arey baba, ab to padhai ho gaya, bachon ki shaadi karo. It is a normal thing. Then after some time, after some year, Mr. D'Souza, we get retired. And when we get retired, what is the most uncommon thing happen with us, Mr. D'Souza? Our monthly salary is not coming now. We are retired, our monthly salary is not coming. What we are getting regularly, it is no more coming to us every month, first in my bank account. So how we will survive in that phase of life, Mr. D'Souza? Typically, what happens normally, we accumulate good amount for the retirement life. We deposit that amount or invest that amount in somewhere, get some return, and we survive. That is a normal course of living life after retirement. No, am I right?
Yes.
Because nowadays you will not be getting pension now. Pension is no more available to the youngsters at least. Earlier, people were very lucky, they were getting pension from the center if they were in central or state government. But nowadays, pension is no more available. So only thing how we will survive? We will survive by accumulating huge amount for the retirement life, put it somewhere, invest it, get some return, and we will live. So in the first column, Mr. D'Souza, note down what are the milestones in your life. And I am giving you a leverage. Whatever you want, you can add it, apart from what I have just mentioned. In the second column, Mr. D'Souza, against each milestone, kindly put the period when it is likely to happen. Again, idea only, precisely you can't say. Suppose somebody say that I am not married, but I am likely to be married after 2 years. After 2 years, put it 2 years. Likewise, marriage after 2 years, definitely children, birth of the children, 3.5 years. Then 3 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, 20 year, 25 year, 30 year. Likewise, you put the period against each milestone. Mr. D'Souza, in the third column against each milestone, now you put the money you will need for each milestone. Again, idea only, not precisely you can't say. Suppose somebody say, Mr. D'Souza, that he is not married and he is likely to be married and he will need minimum 5 lakhs for his honeymoon package because other expenses will be taken care of by their parents. Normally, put it 5 lakhs against the marriage. But Mr. D'Souza, you know, today you are thinking of getting honeymoon package at 5 lakhs. But after 2 years, when you will actually get married, 5 lakh will be insufficient because of inflation. You know, it might go to 550 or so. So put it in, factor in inflation also while putting the money against each milestone. 2 important milestones I just want to discuss with you. All of you kindly understand it very carefully. Mr. D'Souza, you know, professional education and higher education of children is one of the most important aim of our life. Every parent. Suppose, Mr. D'Souza, can you tell me how much money we have to spend now on an MBA degree, good MBA degree from a good institution? It is around 20 lakhs. Around 20 lakhs. Today, it 20 lakhs. Can you imagine after 20-25 years when your children will be grown, how much money you will need to spend for each children higher education? Mr. Ahuja, if it is 20 lakhs today, it will be not less than 2 crore rupees after 20 years. Kindly mind it. This is very important thing. We generally ignore it. So minimum 2 crore rupees per child for higher education only. And per chance, Mr. Ahuja, D'Souza, you have got 2 children. How much money you will need? 4 crore rupees for the higher education only. Then again for marriage, not less than 1 crore of 2 children. At that standard. Then last one is retirement life. Mr. Ahuja, suppose you say that you are 30 today and you say that I can manage my monthly affairs with 30,000. We are taking, you are saying that 30,000 is okay. You can manage your affairs. Mr. D'Souza, can you imagine how much money you will need every month when you become 60 after 30 years? Have you ever thought of it? No. If your monthly expenses are 30,000 today, Mr. D'Souza, when you are at 30, after 30 years, when you become 60, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month for the same level of life. No extravaganza, no luxury life. For the same standard of living, because of inflation, Mr. Ahuja, you are managing today at 30,000, you will need not less than 2 lakh rupees per month when you become 60. So how much you will need annually? Around 25 lakhs, 24, 25 lakhs. So how much money you should accumulate? A thumb rule is there. It should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Again, I repeat, it should be minimum 20 times of your annual expenses. Suppose your annual expenses at 25 lakhs, multiply it by 20. How it becomes, sir? 5 crores. So 5 crore minimum you will have to accumulate for the retirement life only. Because normally it is expected that you will get 5% return on your investment, and 5 lakhs will be around 25 lakhs or 5 crore. Now I'm making you scary, Mr. D'Souza. Kindly make the total of the third column. And you might be surprised to note that normal middle class, salary class person, Vaishali ma'am, who is 30 today, around 30 today, will need around 10 to 12 crore rupees in their life. Only for the milestone, Mr. D'Souza. I am excluding the monthly expenses from 30 years to 60 years. That is excluding. Only for the milestone, you will need 10 to 12 crore rupees. It is a fact of life, whether you accept it or not. From where we will get this 10, 12 crore rupees, my dear friends? Mr. D'Souza or Vaishali ma'am might be lucky enough go to the KBC Amitabh Bachchan, sitting before Amitabh Bachchan and winning 7 crore rupees. But how many of us will earn that money? You know, out of 20 lakh, 30 lakh for only 1 or 2. So where from that money will come? Yes, now I want to give you confidence, my dear participants. We all can have 10 to 12 crore rupees, those who are young today. How? By making our plan of savings and putting our savings into investment into the best available product, earning the highest real return and accumulating it and over a period of time. And the chart which we have just prepared, first column, second column, third column, Mr. D'Souza, are you aware what is this? This is called financial plan. And I personally feel, and I will request all of you, that is why Vaishali ma'am, I told you that give me 1 hour next Sunday. Every family must have their financial plan. Every family. And Mr. D'Souza, it is not a rocket science. We can make it, as we just discussed today. We can make it. Sitting with the family, charting out the goals and the milestones, then putting the period, then putting the amount. Because Mr. D'Souza, once we have financial plan, the picture is very clear before us, Mr. D'Souza, how much money you will need at what time in your life. Broadly, it is clear. And psychologists say that once picture and purpose and vision is clear, there is a very high possibility that we will attain that target. So kindly have a financial plan of your family. This is my request to all of you. One more thing I wish to request here, Mr. D'Souza, that is rule of compounding. Have you ever heard about the rule of compounding, Mr. D'Souza? Rule of compounding is the magic. It is the 8th wonder of the world. You may not have seen the importance of rule of compounding. And what is rule of compounding in investment? Very simply speaking, you will have to make a promise with yourselves, taking your family into confidence, that I will never use the income or return on my investment for my personal purposes, for my celebration, for my vacation or my family obligation. What I will do? I will simply club that return or income whenever and whatever I get it with my original investment and reinvest it. Simply got it, sir? Suppose when you had gone for FD of 1 lakh rupees and you had earned 6,000, What should have been your next step? Next FD should have been 1,06,000. That is rule of compounding. Whenever we get return or income on our investment, we should not use it that for our personal purpose or for celebration or for vacation. What we should do, we should simply club that return with our original investment and reinvest it. And Mr. D'Souza, if we do it for 10, 15, 20 years, you will be happily surprised that our return has become manifold than your original investment. But that will not happen today, my dear friends. It will not happen tomorrow. It will happen after 15, 20 years. So kindly religiously follow rule of compounding. That is also called growth option. Growth simply means whatever I earn, I'm clubbing that return with my investment and I again reinvesting it. So kindly follow rule of compounding. So these are the basic things we have so far discussed. Savings, first we discussed about, I just repeat for 1 minute, Mr. D'Souza. First we discuss about the security, life insurance cover, health insurance cover, and emergency fund. Then we discuss about the importance of saving, identify of saving, and then increasing saving every year. Then putting in saving into investment. Then risk management. Then we discuss about the risk management. Then getting real return on investment. Then we discuss about the financial plan. And lastly, we discuss about the rule of compounding. These are very important aspects of our investment. We first understand it. And now I am discussing that 10-15 minutes only I will take, Mr. D'Souza now. Now we are discussing what are the options for the middle class person for investment, where we can invest. And this is again very important thing. The first where we can invest, Mr. D'Souza, middle class, salary class person, is governmental saving scheme. And these are very important things I am sharing with all of you. Kindly note it down if you wish to note it down. And in the first most beneficial scheme of the Government of India, where we all must invest, Mr. D'Souza, I personally feel, that is Public Provident Fund Account, PPF. I don't know whether, Mr. D'Souza, whether you have opened an account with PPF or not. But if you have not opened, you have done a blunder. I am again requesting all of you, including Vaishali ma'am, if she is there. If you have not opened a Public Provident Fund account, kindly open it at once. Public Provident account is different, my dear friends, than that of your EPF, if you have deducted. It is an independent account which you can open with any bank or post office. And preferably, you should open this account with where you have your bank account. And you can directly link that, now that because of technology, you can link it with your professional account. So kindly open a Public Provident Fund account. Vaishali ma'am, are you listening to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
If you have not opened Public Provident Fund account, kindly open it at once. I am requesting all participants, those who are already earning.
Yes, sir.
And even students who have not, they should also open Public Provident Fund account when they start earning. It is a very good Government of India scheme, Vaishali ma'am. I am not talking of any private scheme. It is a Government of India scheme where you can minimum deposit 500 rupees a month or in a year, and maximum you can deposit it 1.50 lakhs, Mr. D'Souza. Minimum limit is 500 rupees a year, maximum limit is 1.50 lakhs. The account is for 15 years. You can continue it for 15 years, but even after 15 years, Vaishali ma'am, you can extend this scheme for another 5 years, another 5 years, or another 5 years. Because it is extendable for a period of 5 years each. Government of India is giving you 7.1% return, Mr. D'Souza, on this today. And this interest is compounding every year. And my request is to all participants, once they open an account, kindly make efforts to deposit 1.50 lakhs in this PPF account at the beginning of the financial year, Mr. D'Souza, if possible. That is in the month of April itself. Why? Because if you deposit maximum limit of 1.50 lakhs in the beginning, you will get the return or interest on it for the whole year. But because of any reason, suppose you are not able to deposit 1.50 lakh, Vaishali ma'am, and if you are depositing regularly, then kindly deposit the amount before 5th of every month. Because if you deposit the amount after 5th, you will not get the interest for that month. These are very small things, Mr. D'Souza, but very important things. So I again request all the participants kindly open a public provident fund account. Then after that, National Savings Certificate, NSC, is there where we can invest. Then Kisan Vikas Patra. I'm just mentioning the name because I don't have time to discuss all the details of these schemes. Kisan Vikas Patra, where we can invest. And third, Vaishali ma'am, if you have a girl child at your home and her age is below 10, then Government of India scheme, very good scheme is there, that is Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. It is only for girl child, and government is giving 7.6% interest, Mr. D'Souza, which is the highest in governmental scheme. And government has guaranteed that they will always give highest return in this scheme because that is for the education and marriage of the girl child. So those who have girl at their home, and if their age are below 10, they must open Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for each of the girl. At 18 years, you can withdraw 50% of the accumulation in the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana for the higher education of the girl child. And after 20 years, you can withdraw whole money for her marriage. So Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana is a very good scheme. Then Government of India also take loan from the public, Mr. D'Souza, you might be aware, by selling their securities, and we can deposit our some savings into securities. Last month only in December, RBI has started a portal, Mr. D'Souza. That portal name is RBI Retail Central. RBI Retail Central. Very good. You kindly visit the portal, get yourself registered, and then you can regularly invest in that governmental security through that portal. Then RBI also issues bonds, Mr. D'Souza, tax-free bond and taxable bonds. RBI also issues some bonds. And then Government of India undertaking, Mr. D'Souza, also take loan from the public by issuing debenture and bonds. And now Government of India has also started a scheme, Bharat Bond 1 and Bharat Bond 2, where we can invest for government undertakings. All these schemes I have just mentioned, Mr. D'Souza, is governmental saving scheme. And the uniqueness of these schemes, my dear participant, is there is no risk, Mr. D'Souza. Whatever government has promised, government will give you interest or return. And whenever your scheme matures, you will get the money back. There is no risk at all. These are unique things. Of course, the return might not be extraordinary. Reasonable return might be there, but at the same time, there is no risk. So I personally feel, Mr. D'Souza, that which middle class, salary class person should invest around 15 to 20% of their investment into governmental saving scheme. This is the first option I have just mentioned. Then after that, property or real estate, Mr. D'Souza, is also an option for all of us. I am not an expert on property, Mr. D'Souza. You might be. At least I am not. So I will just say that this option is there, but risk is there. How much appreciation will be there? Nobody knows. Whether you will be able to sell the property when you want it, you don't know. Because real estate relatively is an illiquid investment in the sense that you can't make it liquid at once. But still you can make it. In real estate, you want huge money to invest. I leave it to you how much you want to invest in real estate or property. Then third one is gold. And Vaishali ma'am, if possible, kindly keep your video on for 5 minutes. Because when I started talking about the gold, all female participants have a different smile on their faces.
Yes, sir.
Gold, no, Baba, gold is not as much gold as we have. And historically, Vaishali ma'am,
Yes, sir.
gold has been a safety valve for the middle class, salary class.
Yes,
It is a safety valve. And you might not be aware, Vaishali ma'am, we normally give gold jewelry or gold to our daughters on marriage.
On marriage.
Why? There is a very deep-rooted thinking that in case some problem is there in the daughter's house in future, at least they can mortgage or sell the gold and come out of it. That is why the thinking, why we give gold to the daughters in marriage. So gold has been an option for the middle class, salary class person for centuries together. And it has been treated as a safety valve. But earlier we were investing in gold only through jewelry or some purchase. Physically we were acquiring gold. But Vaishali ma'am, if you acquire physically gold and keep it at home, you will not have sound sleep. Are Baba, chor aa jayega, chor nikal ke le jayega. Or if you keep it in locker, you will have to pay annual charges. So maintenance of gold physical form has become a tough task, and rather costly affair.
Yes, sir.
So nowadays, a very good government of India scheme is there. Kindly note it down, all the participants. That is called Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Mr. D'Souza, you also note it down. Sovereign Gold Bond Scheme. Very good government of India scheme. Where government of India is saying that you can invest minimum 1 gram gold price in it and maximum, Vaishali ma'am, 4 kg gold. Yes. You can invest up to 4 kg gold. The scheme is for 8 years. And what government is guaranteeing you, Vaishali ma'am? Government is giving you 2.5% guaranteed return on your investment. Firstly. Secondly, additionally rather, whatever be the appreciation of gold price, suppose today gold price is 50,000. And after 8 years, gold price become 80,000. So the difference between 80 to 50, that is 30,000 will also be given to you. So there are two benefits. One is 2.5% return in interest on your income. And secondly, the appreciation in the prices of gold will also be given to you. The scheme is for 8 years. And Vaishali ma'am, if you keep it for 8 years, there will also be tax benefit, that is capital gain benefit will also be there. And if you don't want to keep it, you can sell it after 3 or 4 years. That facility is also available. So sovereign gold bond is a very good scheme of the government of India. And I will request all the participants kindly get, and you can invest online and offline, both. And online, Vaishali ma'am, you will get discount of 50 rupees per gram also. If you invest online. Online. 50%, so 50 rupees per gram discount is also there. And if you are not able to invest online, then go to your bank. Because all banks are operating this scheme. Get the application and invest it. So it is a very good scheme. And I personally feel that 5 to 7% of our investment, middle class, salary class person, Mr. D'Souza, should be in gold. 15 to 20% in governmental security, governmental saving scheme. 5 to 7% in gold. And last option available for us is security market. And Vaishali ma'am, when I start talking about the security market, people will say, sir, we don't understand what it is. Market goes up, market goes down. Vaishali ma'am might have invested on the advice of others some money in security market, and she might have lost that money. So she is now very clear. Toba, I will never invest in security market. A good number of people have this feeling. They might be right. But Vaishali ma'am, understand one thing. You are right. But security market is a purely knowledge-based market. And those, Mandal Sahab knows it very well, those who don't have knowledge of the market must not invest in the security market directly. That is my personal opinion. Those who don't have knowledge of the market should not try to invest in security market directly, because market is risk is there. Because Vaishali ma'am, the correct of the market is going up and down. All market will always go up and down. Today it is 60, Mandal sir. Again it might go to 30 tomorrow because of some developments. Or market may touch even 1 lakh after 2, 3 or 5 years. So market will always go up and down. This is the correct basic character of the market. So don't invest into the market unless until you have knowledge of the market. But 2 things I want to mention here, Vaishali ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Security market has given highest return, which no other product has given. Mandal sir knows it very well. Security market has given 15% average return during last 35 years, which no other product has given. Governmental saving scheme has given around 7 to 8.5%. Gold has given 6.5% to 7.5%. Real estate has given 7.5% to 9%, Mr. D'Souza. But security market has given 15% average return. One more thing I wish to mention here, Vaishali ma'am. Have you heard about the name Infosys?
Yes, sir.
Infosys, exactly. Infosys is a big name now. But when the first time in 1995, when these shares of the Infosys was issued first time, and there were no takers because Infosys was a very new company at that time. But a very smart investor like Mandal sir, suppose he had invested 10,000 rupees in at that time, 10,000 rupees in Infosys share, purchasing 1,000 share of 10 rupees each. And he's continuing with that investment. He had not sold those shares. Can you imagine, Vaishali ma'am, how it's become 10,000 today? 64 lakhs. 10,000 has become 64 lakhs today. That is the potentiality of security market. What I want to tell you here, I'm not encouraging anybody to go for it. What I am saying is that that is the potentiality of security market, that money you can get extraordinary return over a period of time. But kindly don't invest unless and until you have knowledge of the market. But one thing is there.
So perfect knowledge is required to
invest. Absolutely. Before that, don't think of investing in security market.
From the scratch till the core, you have to be knowing entire information and then only
absolutely. But there is a indirect way of investing into security market, and that is called mutual fund. That is indirect way. Mandal sir, it is indirect way of investing into security market. And what is that? Vaishali ma'am? What we do in mutual fund, we are giving our money to the experts. Yeah. We are not directly investing it, Mr. D'Souza.
So there's an intermediary.
No, they are not intermediary. Basically, they are experts because they know much better than us about the security market.
About the market.
They have got experience of the market.
Okay, fine.
They live in the market 24 hours. Oh. They work in the market. That is why there are better chances of giving good return on our investment, because they are experts, and which we are not. That is why we are giving our savings to the experts. First thing. Secondly, we are giving our money to the experts, Mr. D'Souza, for the sole purpose of getting maximum return. It is not a social service. It is not a social cause that we are giving our money for any other cause. Proposition is very simple. I am giving my money to them. Kindly invest my money as per your wisdom, as per your knowledge, as per your experience, and generate maximum return for me. This is the simple funda of mutual fund. And mutual fund, Vaishali ma'am, is strictly regulated by SEBI. Rest assured, it is not a Ponzi scheme. It is not a cheat fund that people will come, take your money and vanish one day. No, it is not like that. Of course, they are solely affected by the market movements. That is there. That is why, Mandal sir, there is no guarantee in mutual funds. There is no, if somebody gives you guarantee, then he is fooling you. He is not telling the truth to you. There is no guarantee, Mr. D'Souza. But historically performance of a good number of mutual funds says that you will get higher return as compared to other products. That is there. In mutual fund, what we do, madam, we simply give our money to the experts. There are two ways in investing mutual fund. One plan is direct plan and other is regular plan. In direct plan, what happens, Vaishali ma'am, we visit the website of the mutual fund companies. They are technically called AMCs, asset management companies. We visit the asset management company website, select the scheme as per our risk appetite and time horizon of investment, because there are thousands of schemes, and invest the money online itself. That is direct plan. But because of any reason we are not able to invest directly, then other option is there, that is regular plan. In regular plan, what happens, we call the local mutual fund distributor or agent. They will come to you, but mind it, the one most important thing I am telling all of you, kindly never take the advice of the mutual fund distributor about the scheme, because they may missell some scheme, in the sense that in some scheme they might be getting higher return. They will impose that scheme to you, which might not be suitable to you. So selection of scheme, Vaishali ma'am, is your domain. Never delegate this selection to any other person. And selection again is very simple. When you open the scheme, a fact sheet, FACT fact sheet of the scheme comes in on the website. Kindly read minimum 10 times the fact sheet. Understand each and every sentence. And if you are satisfied, only then you invest. So selection of scheme is your domain. The beauty of mutual fund is that, Vaishali ma'am, in mutual fund, schemes are there where risk is minimum. In mutual fund, other schemes are there where risk are moderate. But in mutual fund, there are schemes, Vaishali ma'am, which have got highest risk. So you can select the scheme as per your risk appetite. Options are with you. Likewise, in mutual fund, Vaishali ma'am, schemes are there which will give you return on daily basis. Daily basis you will get interest. Schemes are there which will give you return in 3 months. There are schemes in the mutual fund which will give you return in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year. So according to time horizon also mutual fund schemes are available. So that flexibility with you, and you can select the scheme and invest as per your risk appetite and as per your time horizon of investment. Two major category of mutual fund schemes are there, Vaishali ma'am. One is equity fund and other is debt fund. In equity fund, Mr. D'Souza, your savings are invested into these equity shares of the corporate. And mind it, my dear friends, when you invest in equity, Mandal sir knows it very well, risk is greater. Risk, because always prices of the share market or equity shares will go up and down. So those who can take risk, people like you and Vaishali ma'am, those who are young, and those who have got longer horizon, my dear friend, mind it, those who have got longer horizon, Mr. D'Souza, of more than 5 years of investment, they should consider investing in equity fund. But Mr. D'Souza, suppose you don't want to take high risk, because a high risk probability of getting high return is there. And now the other category, Mr. D'Souza, is debt fund. Debt fund simply means your money will be given as a loan to the corporate. Vaishali ma'am, understand the difference very clearly. In equity fund, your money will be invested into the equity shares of the company. In debt funds, your money will be given as a loan to the corporates. In debt fund, the risk is lesser, but the return is also reasonable, Mr. D'Souza. But in equity fund, the chances of getting extraordinary return is also there. Potentiality is there. There is no guarantee. Again, I repeat it firmly. There is no guarantee. But chances of getting high return is there. So equity fund is suitable, Mr. D'Souza, for young people like you and Vaishali ma'am, those who have got longer horizon of 10, 15, 20 years. And for investors who can take risks like you. But debt fund is suitable for people like Mandal sir and me, because we can't take risk now. We feel satisfied with the reasonable return. So debt fund is there. And there are a lot of things I can tell about mutual fund, but time constant is there. So I'm summing up next 5 minutes. The magic of mutual fund. Vaishali ma'am, can you open your video again for 5 minutes? The magic of mutual fund now is SIP, systematic investment plan. Kindly understand it very carefully.
Okay.
Systematic investment plan, SIP. Systematic investment plan. It is just like a recurring account, Vaishali ma'am. In recurring account, what happens? Every month we are investing.
Every month we invest.
Likewise, in mutual fund also, we invest every month a fixed amount. Minimum amount can be 500 rupees, maximum is no limit. Vaishali ma'am can invest 10 lakhs a month, no problem. So SIP is a most magic for the middle class, salary class person, because if we continue investing for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, we will have a huge corpus. This is a historical performances. And I just give you one example to all of you. Mandal sir, of course, not for you, but for the young investors. I just give you one example. And I will not name the scheme because it will be unfair on my part. That will be marketing of that. But facts are there. These are facts I am sharing with you. One equity scheme was started in 1995. Kindly understand the dates and time periodically carefully. One equity scheme was started in 1995. And a smart investor like Professor Mandal, he started an SIP of 10,000 per month in that scheme. Every month he is investing 10,000 from 1995. Every month he is investing. And till today he is investing.
Okay.
Till this month itself he has invested. Vaishali ma'am, can you imagine how much money he has got now? 9.57 crore. 9.57 crore. Is it not a magic?
Magic.
But two, three things are very clear. Firstly, there is no guarantee. This scheme might have given this much return. Other schemes might not have given that much of life. Secondly, the most important thing, Mr. Mandal was very consistent and regular for investing continuously. That is the most important thing. He started an SIP and he continued with SIP. And in that period, Vaishali ma'am, market might have gone up, market might have gone out, but he never stopped SIP. He continued with this. This is the crux of the success. I again repeat it here. Never stop your SIP. Once you start it, never stop it. Because typically what happened, Vaishali ma'am, when market goes up, people started SIP, they will start investing. When market goes down, they get scary. Arey Baba, I have suffered a loss. Never do this. Because in loss, you continue it. Mandal sir know it, you will get more units of that scheme. When market goes up, you will get lesser unit, but when market goes down, you will get higher units, high units. So automatically there will be balancing, Mandal sir, over a period of time. After 15, 20 years. So kindly start an SIP. Never stop SIP, come what may. Firstly, continue with the SIP. Secondly,
so here also we have the minimum amount of 500 only.
500. You
Okay.
minimum 500. And you people, those who are young, should start SIP at the beginning in some good equity scheme or in some index fund. Because I don't have time to detail all these things. Next time we will have a dedicated session on mutual fund of 2 hours. Then we will discuss all these things. So SIP is the magic for the middle class, salary class person. And Vaishali ma'am, I know a lot of my friends like you who have started not one but more than one SIP. That is target oriented SIP. One SIP for purchase of house, other SIP for going on vacation after 5 years, third SIP for higher education of children after 25 years, fourth SIP for marriage of children, and last SIP for retirement plan. So you can have more than one SIP. And nowadays, Mr. D'Souza, on website, SIP calculators are available. Suppose Vaishali ma'am says that I will need 4 crore rupees for my children higher education after 25 years. Put it 4 crore rupees at target and put it 25 years at the period. SIP calculator will give you idea how much SIP you should start right now. So SIP calculators are also available. So kindly think of starting SIP or more than an SIP as per your target. The other facility in mutual fund, Mandal Saab, it is for you. That is SWP, Systematic Withdrawal Plan. Vaishali ma'am, I have just discussed what I have discussed now. I discussed about the SIP.
SIP.
Now
it's
I am
withdrawal.
discussing about SWPs.
How you withdraw.
In SIP, I was regularly investing every month. In SWP, I am withdrawing every month. When it is beneficial, when I get retired. Suppose I get retired, I've got, Mandal Saab has been quite smart enough. He has accumulated a corpus of 5 crore rupees. Now he's retired, pension is not there. How to survive retirement life? He can simply write a 1-line mail to the mutual fund company that next month onwards, kindly keep transferring 2 lakh rupees per month from my corpus to my bank account. They will religiously transfer it because that is your money only. What will be the first benefit? Every month on first you will get 2 lakh rupees. Vaishali ma'am can enjoy life even after retirement as she was enjoying when she was working. Second benefit is your remaining amount with them is continuously invested. So you are continue to earn interest on it. So SWP is a facility where we can live our retirement life comfortably, but for that precondition is there. You have to accumulate huge amount. That is there. They will not give out of their pocket. They will transfer your money from your money only. But that is reasonable and that is tax efficient also. You will have lesser tax liability. So lot of things I can tell you about the mutual fund. I don't have time. Last thing I want to tell you mutual fund is about liquid fund. Vaishali ma'am, I know a lot of my friends, young people like you and D'Souza sir, they have started a new practice. What they have started now, when you get salary in your bank account on first, you simply, D'Souza sir, you simply transfer your salary from your bank account to the liquid fund. That is possible now. App. You once download the app, that is possible now. Suppose Mr. D'Souza got 50,000 in bank salary on first. He simply transferred 50,000 from bank account to the liquid fund. Naturally, you will ask me why I should transfer. There are two benefits, sir. Mandal sir knows it very well. First benefit, Mr. D'Souza, is that in SB account, you are getting 2.5% return. And that too on monthly basis, average basis. But in liquid fund, Mr. D'Souza, you are getting more than 3.5% return even today, where market liquidity is very high. Earlier, it used to be 5% even. So in liquidity fund, every day you are earning 3.5% or more return, whereas in SBI account, Mr. D'Souza, you are earning only 2.5%. Secondly, money is always at your hand. Suppose on 5th, you need 5,000. Go to the app of liquid fund, which you have on your mobile, put 5,000, click withdraw button, 5,000 will instantly be transferred to your bank account. You can withdraw it. So it is a better cash management for the middle class, salary class person. It is a better cash management. Kindly think of starting this practice also. Last two things I wish to request to all the participants. Vaishali ma'am, if you kindly open your video again, I will be grateful. Last two things I wish to request all of you, all participants. Sure. And my first request to Vaishali ma'am, Mr. D'Souza and all faculty members. Vaishali ma'am, have you heard about CSR?
Corporate social responsibility.
Yeah, but have you heard about ISR?
ISR.
No.
Institution?
No, individual social responsibility.
Individual social responsibility.
We have also got some social responsibility, ma'am. We are educated, we are lucky enough, God has given us education, we are earning. So we have also got some social responsibility that I am sharing with all of you. Kindly shoulder that responsibility, Mr. D'Souza. And what is that? Kindly start a campaign through your students across your area. You should make people aware that they should never invest their hard-earned money in Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. These are bogus schemes. And Vaishali ma'am, who typically invests? Not you. You are educated. Not Mr. D'Souza. He is educated. Who is normally illiterate? Your maid servant, your peon, your driver, your
money.
Your plumber. They go for temptation. Because people will promise them higher return, doubling their money in 3 or 4 years. It will never happen. They will simply vanish with your money. And Mandal sir knows it. As per broad survey, Vaishali ma'am, more than 10 lakhs crore for rupees of general investors have been lost in such bogus schemes. So kindly start a campaign across your area through students and make people aware as much as you can that they should never invest their hard-earned money in such Ponzi scheme, chit fund and committees. If they don't have any idea, if they don't have any rules, they should simply put their money in bank or post office. At least their money will be safe. They will not lose their money. This is the first thing. And last thing, I wish to request all of you. Again, Mr. D'Souza and Vaishali ma'am, throw you to all the participants. But Vaishali ma'am is saying, prosperity is my right. Every individual has got prosperity is their right. I might have born into a poor family, Vaishali ma'am. That is an incidental only. I might have born into birth in a poor family is not a curse, but living poor and die poor is a curse. And that curse we can simply manage. Mandal sir knows it very well, by managing our money, by saving maximum as we can, by putting our money into the best investment mode, getting higher return, following rule of compounding, having our financial plan. All these things we all can be prosper. Kindly understand and appreciate every individual has got prosperity at their right. Exercise that right. Be prosper. This is my humble request to all of you. And if anything you have found useful in my session, kindly practice in your life. Because typically what happened, Mandal sir, Indians have got a typical habit. We talk too much, we listen too much, we advise too much, but we don't practice. Even the good things we learn, we don't practice. But kindly come out of that habit. Try to make your life healthy and happier and prosper. God bless you all.
So, Sabzar sir, can I give the vote of thanks or any questions from the
Any
audience?
question?
Sir, in the chat box, there are
Yes.
questions.
Any question from any participant, just kindly raise their hand. They can directly ask the question. Yeah, Kushal. Mr. Sabzar, kindly unmute him.
Okay, sir. Mr. Kushal, sir, please unmute your radio option, sir, please.
Sir, you told in sovereign gold bonds, in case the gold price increase, you're going to get the difference amount.
Yeah.
So what if the gold price drops, sir?
No. Then drop is, then you will get nothing. Then you will get only 2.5% interest.
So that 2.5 is fixed. You'll get it no matter what.
Absolutely. 2.5 is a guaranteed return, my dear.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
That government will give you. Any other question? Any other question from any participant? Mandal sir?
Dear participants, please raise your hand, please. You
Mr.
can also, yes, please.
Mr. Sabzar, kindly unmute Mandal sir. I want his observation about the session.
Okay, sir. Okay. Mr. Mandal sir, Ashok Kumar sir, please unmute your radio option, sir. Please, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mandal sir.
Well, sir. Knowledgeable and excellent session, sir. I am waiting for another meet from your end in our institutions.
Definitely, sir.
I am lucky, sir.
That I am at your disposal all the time.
Okay, sir. Okay.
For me, it is a mission now.
Okay. You and also Mr. Sabjar Ahmed, very much cooperative. Thankful, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Any other question from the participant, or we should go to the Vaishali ma'am for formal vote of thanks, which otherwise is not required? No question from the participant?
Any questions?
Mr. D'Souza, would you like to speak something?
Yes, sir. I do not have any questions, sir, but I really enjoyed your session. This was kind of a revision for me. I knew many facts about whatever you have told. I have heard many such talks by AMFI, and I would try to implement it in my personal.
Thank you. The important thing is implementation. Yes. And I hope Vaishali ma'am will also go the same way.
Yes, sir, 100%. Till now it was only theoretical, now action oriented. Serious.
So nice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from the participants, please? Any further questions? I hope so. Can I give a formal thank you, sir?
No, this is a reflection that either people don't have cushion or they have not liked the session.
Yes,
Please
sir.
check your sir, chat box, sir. So there is only sir regarding about this webinar. Nice session, nice and powerful speech, nice session, sir.
No, I'm thankful to all of them, but I wanted more questions to come from the participant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because appreciation is one aspect only, Mandal sir. People should have more doubts and questions in their mind. I personally feel.
I have a question, sir, about health insurance.
Yeah.
I still couldn't understand how to determine how much health insurance is required by me or my family.
Sir, normally speaking, are you in Bengaluru or in other city?
Bangalore. I'm from Bengaluru.
So Bangalore is a metro city. I will recommend that you should have health insurance cover under umbrella policy or floater policy of around 20 lakhs. Around 20 lakhs.
But do those policies cover all types of illness?
Definitely. All even serious diseases they cover. But before taking a policy, kindly spend some time to understand the terms and conditions of the policy. Take your time.
Then why is the companies came up with the COVID insurance separately?
Sir, it is just marketing gimmick, na? Because they have to sell their product as well. So it is a marketing gimmick. COVID is included in most of the policies now. So don't take separate COVID policy. Take it as general health insurance cover. COVID is also included.
Even one more question is, sir, what is better for investment purpose, Kisan Vikas Patra or FD with RD?
My dear, again,
or recurring deposit.
Actually, Kisan Vikas Patra is relatively giving you better return because FD, very honestly speaking, there is no return. I should not say so because some banker might feel offended. But truly speaking, as Vaishali ma'am, as I mentioned about the real return, nowadays in bank FD there is no real return. So I'm not discouraging them. You may have some percentage of an investment in bank deposit as a safety wall, just like gold. But then you should go further than for other products as well. Yeah, Mr. Ratan Gupta ji.
Please unmute it.
RBI bonds के बारे में बता सकते हैं?
हाँ बताइए क्या पूछ रहे बताइए।
थोड़ा सा उसमें सर कंफ्यूजन था थोड़ा, मतलब उसके बारे में कुछ समझ नहीं आया मुझे आरबीआई बॉन्ड्स के बारे में।
रिजर्व बैंक समय मैं आपको हिंदी में बताऊं या अंग्रेजी में बताऊं? हाँ रतन जी, हिंदी में अंग्रेजी में? हेलो मिस्टर सब्जार।
यस सर।
इनको अनम्यूट कीजिए जरा।
ओके सर, ओके। प्लीज रतन गुप्ता जी प्लीज।
सर दोनों लैंग्वेज में चलेगा? कोई सी
नहीं,
भी हिंदी
कोई
वैसे
बात-
हिंदी सर।
हाँ कोई बात नहीं। रिजर्व बैंक समय समय पर बॉन्ड इशू करती रहती है पब्लिक के लिए, और वो बॉन्ड टैक्सेबल भी होते हैं और टैक्स फ्री भी होते हैं। कईयों का टेन्योर 5 साल का होता है, कईयों का टेन्योर 7 साल का होता है, कईयों का ज्यादा होता है। उस पर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पहले फिक्स होती है। तो आप टैक्स आरबीआई के जो बॉन्ड्स आते हैं उनको भी आप इन्वेस्टमेंट के रूप में ले सकते हैं। ये मेरा कहने का मतलब था। एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
सर ये पूछना है उसमें मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट मतलब कितना होता होगा?
मिनिमम 10,000 रुपया।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
मैक्सिमम
सर इंटरेस्ट रेट लगभग?
इंटरेस्ट रेट डिपेंड करता है, हम इंटरेस्ट रेट हमेशा फिक्स नहीं रहती है। अभी वो 7.5% इंटरेस्ट पे वो इशू किया हुआ है उन्होंने, जो जिनका टेन्योर 7 साल का है।
ओके सर।
हमेशा इंटरेस्ट रेट बदलती रहती है।
जी जी, थैंक यू सर। ओके, थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू। ओके मैम, आई थिंक या प्रतिमा, मिस्टर सब्जार।
Pratima has raised her hand.
या
प्रतिमा मोहंती प्लीज।
हाँ ये सर पब्लिक प्रोविडेंट फंड जो आपने बोला वो क्या अवेलेबल इन बैंक और एनी अदर?
यस, वो करीब करीब सारे बैंक्स में अवेलेबल है। और मैं आपको रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आपके जो आपका बैंक जहां आपका अकाउंट है उसी में खोलिए पीपीएफ भी, और उससे आप लिंक कर सकते हैं। आजकल ऑनलाइन लिंकिंग हो जाती है, आप जब चाहे पैसा ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं। और अगर वहां नहीं है पर चांस, तो फिर आप पास के पोस्ट ऑफिस में कर सकते हैं या दूसरे बैंक में कर सकते हैं।
So which is better, bank is or post office?
नो, सब एक है। ये गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस, रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट एक ही है, कोई फर्क नहीं है, कहीं भी खोलिए।
मंथली पेमेंट करना है या एनुअली?
मैंने आपको बोला ना, अगर आप एनुअली कर सकते हैं तो बहुत अच्छा है, और एनुअली कर सकते हैं तो हर नए साल की जो फाइनेंशियल ईयर होता है, अप्रैल में पूरा पैसा जमा कराइए, 1.5 लाख रुपया, आपको पूरे साल का ब्याज मिलेगा, इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा। लेकिन अगर आप जमा नहीं करा सकते किसी कारण से, तो फिर महीने की महीने पैसे जमा कराते रहिए, लेकिन उसमें 1.5 लाख रुपया डालने की कोशिश कीजिए ईमानदारी से, पहली बात। और दूसरी बात, जब भी आप मंथली जमा कराते हैं तो उस महीने की 5 तारीख से पहले जमा कराइए, क्योंकि आपको उस महीने का ब्याज नहीं मिलेगा अगर आप 5 तारीख के बाद जमा कराएंगे।
ओके सर, ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Yes, sir. Actually, right. Before 5th
yes
of
sir,
the month,
सर ये
should we
बहुत
get the interest for this month?
ये बहुत छोटी छोटी बातें जो लोग समझते नहीं है, और उसमें क्या उनका इंटरेस्ट, वैशाली मैम, उनको बड़ा नुकसान हो जाता है बाद में। तो दीज आर वेरी यस, ये मिस्टर सब्जार, लास्ट ये ओप्पो AK1।
ओके, ओप्पो प्लीज, A1K प्लीज अनम्यूट योर आईडी ऑप्शन प्लीज।
हेलो, चलो कोई बात नहीं, ओके ओके वैशाली मैम, नाउ कंक्लूड इट, या मिस्टर सोना शुक्ला।
ओके,
लास्ट क्वेश्चन, सोना शुक्ला।
Any question? Yeah.
लास्ट, या सोना शुक्ला, मिस्टर सब्जार।
ओके सर।
हेलो,
सोना शुक्ला मैम, प्लीज अनम्यूट योर आईडी ऑप्शन प्लीज।
नमस्कार मैम।
हेलो, नमस्कार।
बताइए।
आई एम ग्लैड टू हियर योर ईच एंड एवरी आस्क।
आप अनम्यूट कीजिए अपने आप को।
Please unmute your audio option, ma'am.
Very nicely explained. I am so blessed to join this meeting. No question is there, because you have explained each and every aspect very mutely. Also, you have explained it. Only I have raised my hand to appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
So nice of you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Sarvanan, last question, ma'am.
Sarvanan has
please
raised the
unmute
hand.
your audio option, please. Yes, please.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Vaishali ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sure. So I'll just conclude, Sabrar sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, please share feedback link on chat box, please, ma'am.
Yeah. Soon after this one. Yes, sir. We will.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine,
Thank
sir.
you.
So, concluding part now. The essence of all beautiful art and all great work is gratitude. A happy afternoon to our most valued and worthy speaker of the webinar, Sri Suryakant Sharma ji, committee members, my teaching fraternity, and my beloved friends. It's a matter of pride and honor for me to propose a vote of thanks on the occasion of the webinar in our college. On behalf of our college and the entire group here, my very hearty gratitude to Sri Suryakant Sharma ji, Senior Consultant, Association of Mutual Funds, India. Sir has thrown light on the most informative concepts of security, prosperity, savings, source. He has also shared the importance of savings, increase your savings, and how to utilize those savings with the added factor called as risk. He has mentioned about how to manage your risk and minimize your risk. He said 3 golden words: सोच कर, समझ कर, निवेश करना है. That's think, understand, and invest. And also how to protect our lives and health with the protective boundary known as insurance. He also thrown a light on rule of compounding, the 8 wonders of the world. I'm sure that all will be really, happy to be having opening and PPF account and post office and also the RBI bonds. I must remark a proficient sense of gratefulness to our speaker for sharing with us the finest terms of financial practices. All participants of this webinar are really inspired by your highly sparkling words and the ideas. We are grateful and we have a happy thank you, sir. So thank you, sir, so much. I warmly extend my heartfelt gratitude to our beloved principal, Dr. S. N. Venkatesh, for his enormous support to run this webinar at the national level. Thank you, sir. I take this occurrence to thank Professor Matthew Varghese, Senior Advisor, Iqac, for his contribution. My hearty thanks to Professor V. A. Nagaraju, Head of the Department, Commerce and Management Department, for his contribution. I extend my generous thanks to all the participants of this webinar, because of whom we made this webinar possible. I show my heartfelt appreciation to the Association of Mutual Funds India, who rendered a beautiful collaboration for the success of this webinar. I'm sure that our college will continue to get significant provision from diverse groups in the future.
Very good.
I also want to thank all my teaching fraternity for their cooperation in the webinar. At the outset, we thank you all for being with us. It has remained a pronounced pleasure. Have a great and a safe day ahead. Thank you so much. The link will be shared, and each day 100 participants will be receiving the certificate, assuring that everybody are going to get your certificates. So thank you so much. Thank you one and all.
Vaishali ma'am, on my behalf and on behalf of Amfi, I am thankful to all of you, your organizing team, your principal, and your all senior persons.
Thank you, sir.
I am thankful to the all participants. I am particularly thankful to senior person like Mandal sir,
yes,
for joining this program. I would be very happy to be with you physically when this pandemic goes, and we will have continued relationship on academic and professional fronts. Whenever you feel that there is any need for such program, I am at your disposal for all the time. God bless you all.
Sure, sir. It will be our most pleasure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Take care.
And special thank, of course, goes to Mr. Sabjar Ahmed for making sincere efforts for this program. Mr. Sabjar, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sabjar Ahmed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful day. Thank you.
God bless you all. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.